dealing with trig identities, there are some basic rules you need to remember from the past grades and grade 11. Right. So let's revise those rules. What do we know? Sine squared x plus cos squared x equals to 1. So that means one of them you can replace with one another, depending on the requirement. Don't change it every time, right? Depending on the requirement. Then from that, if you need only sine squared x, you can replace it with 1 minus cos squared x, isn't it? Or cos squared x, you can replace with 1 minus sine squared x. Once again, depending on the requirement, right? Okay. Now, does this one looks familiar with your grade 9 work? Factorization. It is a difference between 2 squared. So this one further, you can change it into 1 minus cos x, 1 plus cos x. Okay. Same this side, 1 minus sine x, 1 plus cos 1 plus sine x. Okay. Then that's number 1. Number 2, you're going to convert tan x into sine x divided by cosine x. The moment you change tan x into sine x over cos x, you might find that it is creating now a fraction, isn't it? And the moment you have addition subtraction of a fraction, if you don't go through LCD, it's going to give you a problem. And writing answer of LCD, right, these are my own words, my denominator is straight multiply. So it means 1 times cos x. It may be different from question to question, right? And my numerator is cross multiply. So 1 times cos x is cos x, plus sine is as it is. 1 times sine x is sine x. It may be different from question to question, right? So my denominator is straight multiply. My numerator is cross multiply. Okay, so if you follow this one, LCD, after that, your next step is going to be common. The moment you take it out common, if you can't, then there might be another method of factorization. What are the other methods of factorization? Difference between 2 squared, trinomial, right? So factorization means you are going to get something in multiplication. The purpose of multiplication that another fraction is already in multiplication format, because we say straight multiply. Right? So you don't open the bracket. Multiplication stays as it is. Purpose of that multiplication is cancellation. Okay, so the moment you take it out common, after that your next step most probably follow the cancellation. And the moment you cancel, most probably you will thereby the answer. In between there will be 1 or 2 steps different simplification. All right. Okay, so we are going to use this method. Let's see what we can do. Okay, do we have tan squared x? Okay, so what do we do? Change it into sine squared x divided by cos squared x times cos squared x is as it is. Remember, I need to get answer 1. So don't keep on writing equals to 1. All right. Okay, do I have fraction LCD? Fraction now with addition subtraction. So I'm going to take LCD of the bracket first. All right. When I'm working with the bracket, I have nothing to do with this cos squared x. All right. Okay, so what is my LCD? In word, straight multiplication. 1 times cos squared x is cos squared x. So denominator is straight multiply, numerator is cross multiply. 1 times cos squared x is cos squared x, plus sign as it is. 1 times sin squared x is sin squared x. Okay. Times cos squared x is still there. Okay, I wrote LCD. Now I look at the numerator, look at the denominator. Where can I work? Where the simplification is possible. Right. So look at this numerator. Equals to 1. Sin squared x plus cos squared x equals to 1. So it's 1 divided by cos squared x times cos squared x. Tell me now what you can do. Cancel. And there is your answer. Done. Okay. So you have to be very careful when you are taking LCD. If your LCD is wrong, your numerator is wrong, your denominator is wrong, you're not going to get the answer. Right. So that's number 1. Number 2. Right. What do you need? 1. It means everything will cancel out at the end. Right? Or sin squared plus cos squared, you are going to see it somewhere. Right? But first thing we are going to change is tan x. Okay, if I have tan x in the denominator, what I'm going to do, the fraction is as it is. At the end of the fraction, I will change tan x. What is tan x? Sin x over cosine x. But if that 10 is in denominator, then I will write its opposite. Cosine x over sin x. So this is my tan x, I wrote it here. Okay, in multiplication, you take it at the end. All right. So there's nothing in denominator, 1. The numerator part is as it is. Sin x times cosine x. Right. First part of sin squared x is as it is. 1 change at a time. Right? Do not do so many changes. Okay, I did 1 change. Now where I change, see, around that can I work? What can I do? Where I change. So this is the place I change. So this part is in multiplication, so I can cancel here in that circle of yellow only. Right? I can't move sin squared x this side. So what is cancelled? Sin x, sin x. After cancellation, whatever remaining, I will write it. What I'm left with? Cos x times cos x, cos squared x. Sin squared x. Okay, do I know about this? It's how much? 1. And that's my answer. Done. All right. Number 3. Okay. Do I have LCD? Do I have addition, subtraction of fractions? Okay. So what is my LCD? Okay. So straight multiply. The way I say it, the same way I'll write it. Right? Don't start thinking of what is the answer of that multiplication. So the first step is straight multiply. That's all. So I will say straight multiply. 1 minus sin x, 1 plus sin x. Okay. And numerator? Cross multiply. So I'll do cross multiplication here. 1 plus sin x. And cross multiplication here as well. But you see there is a negative sign outside. So cross multiplication times 1 will not change anything. So it is 1 minus sin x. That is the cross multiplication answer. And that one I'll bring it with opposite sign. Okay, because of a negative in between. So then it's negative 1 and positive sin x. All right. So now I'll work a little bit on numerator in my next step, a little bit on denominator. All right. So let me simplify this numerator for now. That plus 1 minus 1 cancels out. Okay. So that cancel. What I'm left with? Sin x plus sin x is 2 sin x. It's not sin squared x. It is 2 sin x. Denominator? It's a difference between 2 squared now. So it is 1 minus sin squared x. Do you know 1 minus sin squared x? Something about it. What is it? Cos squared x. 1 minus sin squared x is cos squared x. So numerator is as it is, cos squared x. Now let me check here. What do I need? I need only 1 cos x in denominator. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to break down that cos squared x into cos x times cos x. So I'm arranging the requirements from whatever I have. Right. 2 sin x is as it is numerator. So this part is what? Tan x. 2 is as it is, cos x is as it is. And that's my answer. That's 2. Sin x over cos x is tan x. Okay, I'm left with 1 cosine x down, and that's what I need. All right, one more, 2 more. Okay, what can I do in numerator? Right, so it's sin squared x over cos squared x. Denominator. Okay, now I know I'm going to get a fraction here, isn't it? And it's going to complicate things if I write it the same place. So what I'm going to do, that part I'll work on a side, and its answer only I'll bring it there. So what is it? 1 plus sin squared x divided by cos squared x. Okay, what can I do on the right hand side now? LCD. What is my LCD? Cos squared x. What's my numerator? Cos squared x plus sin squared x. Okay, so that the numerator part is 1 there. So it is 1 divided by cos squared x. Okay, there's nothing I can do now. All right, so I'll bring it here. What is it? 1 divided by cos squared x. Now we don't work fraction of a fraction. What do we do? Right? So that big division line I convert into times. When I convert times, the denominator is going to be written as its reciprocal. That's a math language. No? So what is reciprocal? Numerator and denominator swap the places. So the first part, numerator is as it is. Okay, now what? Cancel. What I'm left with? And that's what I need. All right. Number 5. Okay. What do I need? 1 minus cos x, 1 plus cos x. Did I see something like this one initially? It was having what sin squared x equals to 1 minus cos squared x, and 1 minus cos squared x is difference between 2 squared. 1 minus cos x, 1 plus cos x. Okay. So first of all, let's think like this one. I have one fraction and I have another fraction. In between them, there is addition subtraction. What must I do? What is my LCD? No. Right. It is sin squared x. Right. That sin squared x is going to give me 1 minus cos squared, and 1 minus cos squared will give me 1 minus cos 1 plus. Okay. Numerator part sine squared x plus 2 cos x, no change there, 1 plus cos x. Right, okay. So check my requirement. I don't need sine this side. Okay, all sine I'm going to change it into cos. Right. Oh, let me just see, do something, open the bracket. It might create, make my life easier. What is it? 2 cos x plus 2 cos squared x. Right. Sine squared x. Okay, let me change it into 1 minus cos squared x, 1 minus cos squared x. So this one is also 1 minus cos squared x. Remember, I can't cancel here sine squared and sine squared, because numerator after sine squared x is followed by plus. If it was minus, I could have. Right? So around it, if you have plus or minus, you can't cancel. Keep it in mind. Okay. Let me think now. What can I do in numerator? Okay, that's 2 cos squared x. That's 1 cos squared x. Addition, subtraction. Right? So it is cos squared x. So it's 1 plus cos squared x. What is this? 2 cos x. Denominator? 1 minus cos x, 1 plus cos x. Difference between 2 squared. Okay. What is numerator? It's a trinomial. It is a trinomial. Right? So if I arrange this one in this format, cos squared x plus 2 cosine x plus 1. How did we do that trinomial? Factor the last and get the 1. What are the factors of last? 1 and 1. Isn't it? Will it give me 2? So my answer is cos x plus 1 and again cos x plus 1. Okay. So I write them. Numerator cos x plus 1, another cos x plus 1, denominator 4, 5 marks. 1 minus cos x, 1 plus cos x, no change denominator. Okay, now I have everything in multiplication. I can cancel it. So what happens? 1 plus cos x cancels. What I'm left with? 1 plus cos x over 1 minus cos x. And that is what I need. Where is it? Yeah, there is it. Okay. So this is how we deal with